Hi, I'm Gemma Craven,
And I'm Jeffrey Cologne.
and welcome to the Wednesday Word on Social. And today is Wednesday, the 28th of March, and we're talking about Pinterest. So, Jeffrey, unless you'd been living in a closet for the past 6 months, you probably would have heard of Pinterest, but I just wanted to ask you what you thought. What the heck is it?
Pinterest is a visual social platform that allows people to aggregate content from the web. They can collect it on different boards. It's called pinning, and they can title those boards so they can collect different things that inspire them for their house, or food photos, or art, a variety of things. As long as it's visual and photography, it works very well on Pinterest.
And we've seen growth on the platform that's similar to Facebook when it really hit the adoption curve, and there's many millions of users, but who's actually using it?
So it's interesting. In the United States, females are the dominant demographic to use the platform. I think they enjoy it because it's sort of modern day scrapbooking, where they don't need to have a pile of magazines in the physical realm. They can do this all on a digital platform. But in the UK, it swings the other way. Men are actually really interested in the platform. They use it more, and I think they use it mainly to pin infographics and other business visuals that they can use for work purposes.
So, talking of men using Pinterest, I saw that President Obama himself has now got a set of boards on Pinterest. Why the heck is he on the platform if men aren't using it?
Well, what platform isn't Obama on? I think, again, it ties into the fact that the upcoming election, he needs to get the female vote. Females are using Pinterest. In fact, I would not doubt that you hear the term Pinterest mom in this upcoming election.
I love it. No longer the soccer mom, but the Pinterest mom. So let's talk about brands using Pinterest, because obviously that's our huge area of focus. Why would a brand actually use Pinterest if this is for women who love the kind of scrapbooking element of it?
I think it's a way. I mean, if brands have a lot of visual content, it's a way for them to get noticed, have their images passed around, and become top of mind with a lot of the female audience. So specific brands, I think, have been using it really well to help drive a lot of traffic back to their sites. Mainly e-commerce brands have been the sort of the first to get involved in the network. But I mean, you even have like the Today Show uses it because they know that all the things that they're sort of featuring on their show, they want to be able to pin so that their followers can repin. And I think it gives some of the brands that they invite onto the show a little bit of added value.
I saw a Kotex using a nice example where they'd looked at the interests of influentials on the platform and then tailored giveaway bags. So it's another form of influencer relations using the boards people are creating to show their interests. Any other standout brands for you using the platform well?
Yeah, I mean, I like what HGTV is doing, a cable brand, because they're posting a lot of content from interior decoration and design, things that go beyond what they show on their network. And I think it's just a good use of sort of inspiration, things that they find inspirational to them. I also like what Gap is doing in terms of, sort of they have a denim campaign. They show a lot of pop icons wearing denim. Again, just to sort of, reinforce the fact that they're sort of like the dominant denim retailer in the world.
So, it wouldn't be a social platform without its own fair share of controversy. And we've seen anything from Pinterest having to change its terms of service because of the use of images by pro-anorexia websites, which was deemed a violation of what Pinterest was actually about. So they had to change their terms of service. But also, what do you think in terms of sites like Flickr creating buttons, which means their users' images can't actually be shared on Pinterest? Is that Is that right? Is that sensible?
I mean, I mean, the web is for sharing. I mean, that's just sort of how it's set up, and it's, I think people who don't want their images shared are gonna, especially photographers, they're gonna watermark all their material, similar to how artists, or I should say, musicians. Will do the same with audio files, where they'll sort of put distortion in the middle of a track so that people won't be able to really share it. I think it actually benefits a lot of unknown photographers and artists, because they're able to actually have a lot of their imagery passed along. And where were they really able to be discovered before? They sort of had to go the route of the modern day gallery, and that you're so limited in that in terms of being discovered. So I think a lot of photographers actually like it. I think what Flickr's doing is just sort of to try and, defend maybe some brands and other people who may complain, hey, I don't want my stuff, used or shared. I didn't post it here for that reason.
So I mean, again, talking about brands and how they use it, we see that Pinterest is a huge driver of traffic. It's the number one driver of traffic to Lucky Magazine, for example. But how do you measure it? I mean, that's the question we're constantly asked with every other element of a social program we execute on. How do you measure Pinterest?
Yeah, I've been asked this a lot lately. I mean, there's no dashboard for the network, so it's not like Facebook that you can pull up insights, or Twitter where you can pull up how many times someone has retweeted. You're really sort of stuck trying to figure out, okay, how much traffic am I driving maybe to a destination by using Google Analytics? So you have to actually use like a third-party system. I think they need to figure out that back end on their own if they're going to be successful with brands wanting to use the platform. But I think when they created it, they weren't really thinking, how can we benefit from brands? I think they were just like all social networks. How do we get people to just sort of share things that inspire them? So
yeah, and at South by Southwest this year, Vitru did announce that they will be tracking Pinterest too. So that's something I think we really need to look at as Pinterest's been added to their social relationship management platform. Again, how that actually plays out and how brands use that is still to be seen. So I guess two final questions for you in our 10 questions on a Wednesday. What do you think's next for Pinterest?
Well, I think the interesting thing about it is, it blew up so fast and so quick. I think the founders were caught off guard. I mean, they had a small staff in California. I think they're probably now trying to figure out how do we handle all this momentum we have. I think the benefit of it is they have really utilized the Facebook Open Graph to their advantage. Anytime you're active on Pinterest and you're connected to Facebook, you're able to amplify that messaging. So that's a huge thing. But I do think they're going to become more brand friendly. I mean, you can't not do that in this day and age, because you need some sort of form of monetization. And then, of course, there's the dreaded, are they going to start adding advertisements to the platform, and would that end up on people's boards? I mean, who knows? But I do think all those things are definitely going to be in the cards if they're gonna survive in the long run.
And my final question to you is, how do you use Pinterest?
So I don't pin so much as I look at what other people are pinning, and I think that's what's unique about the platform. It's fun to sort of get inspiration from other people, see what they're putting on their boards. But I'm not as active in terms of finding content and pinning it myself.
I myself like to pin pictures of random signs, road signs, and I also have some style boards in case any of you listeners were interested. Well, thanks, Jeffrey. This has been the Wednesday Word on Social. We'll see you next week.